In this tutorial we are going to look at the exporting options for SketchUp. We have a model here that we would like to export it as an image. So under styles we're just going to quickly change the presentation of the image. So if I go and grab the styles toolbar, click on the drop down, you can see under the edit tab here, edge settings, we have jitter line turned on, so we'll turn that off. And also we might want to just turn the edges off for this particular image so it looks a little bit more smooth and rendered. And you'll also note in the watermark settings I'm using two watermark images. So I've got a background image, and if I click on the edit settings here, we can make the image a lot stronger so it's not translucent anymore. So okay. And we also have a foreground image which was cut out using a photo program. So we cut out the foreground and then save it with a translucent background, and then we can overlay the image on top of the building and then also behind the building. Once you're happy with your image, you can then go to File, then Export, and 2D Graphic. And I'm just going to save this to the desktop. Okay, then go to Options, and this is the important part. Once you click on Options, you need to untick View Size, use View Size, and we're going to increase the width of the image to quite high, so let's say maybe 3,500, and then press OK. Then you can click on Export. Alright, so let's just minimize SketchUp. And you can see here we have the image, so I'll just make that smaller to fit within the recording dimensions. And it's now exported that image. So if we zoom in, you can see it's pretty good quality. You can export imagery as much higher with much higher sizes, but just for the example, I just want to show you how you can export your image for sending in emails, for example, or for other use. Next on the list is exporting to CAD. So we need to change the style. So if we go grab the styles dialog again, we are going to delete the foreground and we're going to delete the background. Then we're going to go to the edge settings and we're going to tick edges so we can see the actual edges, because we want to export the elevations as a 2D DWG, for example. Next, what we can do is we can go to a hidden line style. So using the styles toolbar that we learnt in an earlier tutorial, we can click on hidden line, then go to camera and turn off the perspective, and this will ensure that your DWG that is exported is a flat DWG. Then click on a front view or right view, and you can see we've got all the lines showing all the heights, and it's looking pretty good. Next, what you need to do is under Windows Scenes, you need to then create a new view. So click on Add a New View, and if you remember from an earlier tip, we learnt about scenes and styles. We've now changed that style, so it's asking us, would you like to save it as a new style, update the selected style, or do nothing? And I'd recommend saving it as a new style unless you know for sure you want to update the other scenes. Okay, we now have scene 3. So if we go back to the background scene, you can see clearly that it's remembered the imagery that we had before, and if we go to scene 3, it's looking good as well. So when you're ready to export it as a DWG, you can go to File now, go to Export, 2D Graphic, then you need to set it to DWG or Dxf, and I'm just going to go and call this test again just for this tutorial, and then say Export. Okay, export has been complete, so that was fine. The next option is a 3D DWG. So let's go back to color, then go to camera, perspective, and just set it back to perspective. Then go file, export, 3D model, and there is actually quite a few different options to export as. Some of the more common formats is 3ds, DWG and Dxf. Collide is becoming a lot more popular, and depending on who you're giving it to, if you are giving it to somebody, you'll just need to see if you can export the file type that they can actually read. So let's select DWG just for this example, and then select export. And I might actually rename that because it's the same as the other DWG. So test 3D export, and that's now exported. Okay. Now I'm going to open up a CAD program to see how it looks. So if I go and open one of our CAD softwares that we use here in the office called Spirit 2013. And Spirit 2013 is a CAD software that we also sell at Professional CAD Systems. So I'm going to start a new drawing, and just say that. And in a moment I'll adjust the recording dimensions of the program. Okay. So we have our space now. We can then check out the first DWG, go File, Import from Dwg Dxf, Desktop, and we can then find the test DWG and open that. It will give us some results on the import, and it's been brought in as millimeters, which is good. Okay, and those lines have come in as 2D lines, and if we go to an orthographic view, you can see that they are just flat 2D lines. So this is really handy if you're doing your conceptual design in SketchUp, and then you want to take these this line work to CAD and then do the construction drawings from there. It can be quite a good method. Okay, let's look at how the 3D DWG comes in. So I'm just going to delete these lines, get rid of that. Go File, Import, Dwg Dxf, and depending on the software, the results may vary. I'm just going to test Spirit first to show you how it might look, and then say OK. Okay, so the model's now come in, and if I go to an orthographic type view, you can see all that geometry has come into Spirit. Then we can check it out in 3D if I click on the O2C player, just to 3D view it in Spirit. And it's actually come in very nicely with all the geometry and all the different deviations in color. So that's how you can export images from SketchUp, and how you can export your models as CAD files.